students, welcome back to this session. This session is about the arches and cable, which is the syllabus for you in the 5th module. You all know that we have finished the first module. Few bits are left out and that we will be taking up later because they are not very important. Only descriptive part of the first module is left out. So I am coming back to that after some time because that is right now not important. But what I expect from you is work out the problems from the first module and then be ready for the first internals as soon as possible. So from the first module I am jumping directly to the 5th module because this module is very important, at the same time very interesting and simple as well. That is why I am jumping directly to the 5th module, and the 5th module is all about very important civil engineering structures that you might have observed in real-time situations. These structures are arches and cables, and you have seen arches and cables in real-time situations. Arches and cables are curved structures. Geometrically they are curved structures. The difference between arches and cables is arches, they are rigid structures, whereas cables are flexible structures. The shape of the cable depends on the type of the loading, whereas the shape of the arch is fixed. Either it is having parabolic shape or it is having circular shape. So for your syllabus, my dear students, you have two kinds of arches. Number one is the 3-hinged parabolic arch, and second is 3-hinged circular arch. What is meaning of a 3-hinged arch? I will just draw the sketch here. You can see this is an arch, a typical arch where you can see. So this is an arch, this is the left support and this is the right support. The distance between the support, center to center distance between the support is called span, that you know already in case of beams also. And these are called the supports. And these points are also known as springing of the arch. The topmost point of the arch, suppose you call support as A, support as B, the topmost point C is called crown of the arch. Like, you know, crown is very important, or the highest zenith point of the arch. So this is the topmost point, crown of the arch, and the distance, the vertical distance between the crown and the support is known as H. It is symbolized as H. It is rise of the arch, sometimes capital H or small h. So this is an arch. Now right now this arch is a 2-hinged arch. If you provide another hinge at the crown, then such an arch is called 3-hinged arch. And this arch can be parabolic or circular. That means the shape can be parabolic shape or it can be circular shape. So this is very interesting. And this arch, if it is subjected to loading, how this arch is going to behave? What kind of forces develop in arches at the supports and in the body of the arch? That is very important. Now when you load the arch, you just imagine you take a shape of, just take a string which is shape of an arch and try to press it. What is going to happen? The arch is going to flatten. But because the supports are there, the flattening is prevented. That means arch is going to maintain its shape. When the arch maintains its shape, it is because it develops, or it is because of the compressive force that develops at the supports. This compressive force is called thrust. This compressive force is called thrust. So thrust, and it is symbolized as capital H. So in all the arches you will see a horizontal force acting at the support, that is known as thrust, horizontal thrust. And then when you take at any section bending moment of an arch, you will understand that bending moment at any section is algebraic of all the moments. When you take on the left side, then apart from reactions at the support, there will be thrust. So moment due to reaction and moment due to loading, that is similar to the moment that exists in case of beam. So what is additional in case of arches is effect of H. That means H into the distance between the horizontal thrust and the section under consideration. You call this as Y. So H into Y is an additional term that comes in case of arches. So HY effect is the effect which is additional in case of arches as compared to in case of beams. That means in case of beams, this HY effect is not there. And this HY effect, you can see it is hogging H into Y anti-clockwise on the left side. So it is minus HY effect. So minus HY effect is the one which reduces bending moment of the arch because it is minus. So in case of beam, you know already. In case of beam, if it is subjected to loading, what is bending moment at section XX, at a distance x? It is bending moment due to reaction and bending moment due to loading. Bending moment due to reaction VA into x. Bending moment due to loading is loading into the centroidal distance. And in case of arches, apart from bending moment due to reaction and bending moment due to loading, there will be bending moment due to H, that is called H into Y, and that HY reduces bending moment on the arch. That is why on the arches the bending moments are less, or sometimes the bending moments are zeros. That is the advantage of arch. So we will meet in the next class. This is just an introduction, and when we meet in the next class, we will have a detailed discussion on what kind of forces are developed, how to find out the horizontal thrust, and what are the different shapes of arch, like parabolic arch. Parabolic arch has its own formula, that is a formula of parabola, circular arch. All these things are very interesting. We will meet in the next class and have the discussion about, or have a detailed session about that. I will pause here. Thank you.